Before I get started on the video, I'd like to ask you guys to go ahead and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button and hit the notification checkbox. That way you guys don't miss any future uploads from me and you become part of the notification squad. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, people? YouTube, this is Troller here, bringing you guys another video to the channel, and it has been a very, very long time since I brought you guys one of the weapon in history videos for Call of Duty World War II, but I kind of want to get back into the swing of things for World War II. You know, up until the release of Black Ops 4, I don't want to leave Call of Duty in the past. I've been trying to play it a little bit more just to kind of prepare myself for the actual launch of Black Ops 4. So I figured I would bring you guys another one of these videos. So if you guys have never seen one of these videos before, I want you to know that this is basically just me breaking down the history of a gun in Call of Duty World War II. And as you can tell from the title and probably the thumbnail, we are going to be covering the M3 grease gun today. So I do have some information here that I took off the internet. A lot of it came from Wikipedia, so obviously they're not always the most, reliable source, but for the most part I would say they're pretty reliable. And I'm going to give you guys some information on this weapon. Now, this video should be pretty quick. There'll be gameplay in the background. I don't know if I'll leave the whole gameplay in, but this should probably only be at most like a 5-minute video for those of you who have not seen these in the past. So, starting off here, I would like to let you guys know that this weapon is still currently in service. I was a little bit shocked when I saw this. I saw that it said it was still currently in use, and obviously I don't think it's in use by the U.S. military, but it is probably over in some of the more third world countries where the weapons just kind of aren't used anymore because production for the weapons stopped in the early 1950s. So obviously they're still older guns. They're not really they're not being made currently as we speak, so it was still kind of interesting to find out that they're still in service. It was designed by George Hyde and manufactured at General Motors, which I thought that was pretty cool too. And I know during World War II, everybody kind of stepped up to the plate to help when things were rough, so it's not really shocking that General Motors was manufacturing weapons during World War II, but I just thought it was a nice little tidbit of information to add into the video. This is really cool here. The cost of the weapon in 1943 to be made was $15, which is the equivalent to $212 in 2017. So if that just shows you the price difference as well as the affordability of it to be made. I mean, even nowadays a gun being made for $212 I think is pretty low, because guns sell for like $1,000 depending on what you're buying. Something like that in particular, a fully automatic SMG would definitely sell for a high price. So that's just kind of crazy, because one of the reasons why they made this gun is because it was more affordable. So 622,163 of these guns were made in total throughout the time of 1942 all the way up to the early 1950s. So that's a lot of weapons to be made. And a lot were used during the course of the war. The gun weighed about 8.5 pounds. It shot at 450 rounds per minute, and it had a 30-round magazine. So I don't know exactly how well those line up with the Call of Duty stats. I don't have them all broke down in front of me or anything like that. I think the 30 rounds is pretty accurate, if I'm not mistaken. Now the next thing here is that it uses an American .45 caliber bullet for an SMG, which is the same exact round that was used for the Thompson, but it was cheaper and lighter, but it was less accurate, contrary to popular belief. There were also lots of things about the gun malfunctioning, especially when it was first issued. So you would hear a lot in the training camps as well as over in Europe about the weapon, the pin malfunctioning and something to do with the magazine not working properly, but it was never fixed, it was never replaced. So still to this day, weapons like that are still in service still have these issues. This weapon was made in hopes to completely remove the production of the Thompson. So this was made to completely replace it because the Thompson was a heavier weapon, it was more expensive to make, and at the time they were pushing the fact that it was more accurate, which it wasn't, but it was more affordable. So of course the US and the military wanted to cut costs there, because if they cut costs with the guns that were on the front lines, the people who were unfortunately probably going to die anyway, they could redirect that money into tanks or aircraft or things that made big changes and big effects. So that was why they kind of made that decision. Now the last little bit of information that I have here for the grease gun is the fact that it was later improved and there was a new variant that was made called the M3A1. and unfortunately it was not used until the Korean and Vietnam War. So the M3A1 is probably a lot of the newer weapons that you see with it's probably a lot of what the grease guns that you would see nowadays, that they are still in service over in some of the third world countries. It is still a very viable gun from what I could see off of Wikipedia, and during World War II a lot of soldiers preferred this over other weapons just because it was so much easier to use and more maneuverable. So basically that's all I have for you guys in this video. I knew it was going to be short and it was going to be quick, but I just thought I'd provide you guys with a little bit of information about the grease gun because I myself love history and I love knowing little things like this. So if you enjoyed the video, please remember to go ahead and hit the like button. At the time of me recording this, I don't even know when I'm going to upload this, but at the time of me recording this, I have 677 subscribers and we are on the way to 700. So if you could help me get there by getting me up to 680, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and deuces.